Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Bamber here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing how to forecast market direction by showing you my forecasting process as well as how simple it can really be. So get a notepad and pen, get ready to take some notes because I believe this is going to add a ton of value. So let's dive into this.
So before we get into this, I get asked quite a lot on comment section of YouTube videos what trading platform I use. So what I'm going to do is leave a link in the description of this video for you to take a look and check out. Now, forecasting. What is it and why is it important to do? Well, forecasting is essentially planning for trades in advance. The reason it's important is because it stops you being reactive in the markets and jumping into trades with an emotional based mindset. Forecasting helps you be proactive in the markets and approach trades with more of a logical based mindset because you know exactly what you're looking for, following on from preparing for those trades. In terms of routine, I like to keep mine very simple. I forecast for 30 to 45 minutes in the morning and 30 to 45 minutes in the evening before I go to sleep. And forecasting is one of those things. It's very easy to do, but it's also very easy not to do. So in those beginning stages, it's very important that you exercise discipline, be consistent with it until you've built that mind muscle connection and it's become second nature. That's very important. Now, getting into forecasting itself, I want to give you 2 tips that you can take away today and apply into your own routines of forecasting, which I think is going to help a lot. So the first one being forecast both the probabilities and the possibilities so that you're ready for different variations of price action. It's all well and good preparing for one situation, but if another situation happens, how are you going to deal with that, right? So by preparing for different variations of price action, you just adapt to the live market conditions when those materialized setups occur. So it's very important. The second tip is to be as accurate as possible with the drawing tool when planning for these trades. It's all well and good, drawing on squiggly lines and thinking you know what you're looking for, but being as accurate as possible with the drawing tool, I think it's a massive advantage because you get in your mind adjusted to what the price action is essentially going to be like or likely to be like in the markets. Therefore, you're seeing it almost in that hindsight perspective before the trades even materialize. So I think it's a huge thing. Getting into the forecasting routine itself, I'm going to take you through my routine and we're going to go over a live example on Euro Aussie, which I think is going to be really interesting because what I'm going to do is show you a before situation of what I'm forecasting on Euro Aussie, and then after the trades materialize and if I take the trade, I'm going to re-update you with if I've taken the trade, how I've taken it. So I think it's going to be really interesting to get into this. So again, what I'm going to do is drop down to the 4th menu, go to the brush tool, and then start drawing in the different variations. So I know what I'm looking for on your Aussie, any sort of ascending formation around these areas to take to the downside. And if we get that, I know exactly where I'll be getting. I'll be looking at that trade and I'll be taking that trade 100%. Likely be able to refine that entry on the 15-minute, getting a little bit tighter and things like that. But overall, looking at this trade. So we get that, I'll be looking at that trade for possibly around about 4% to the bottom of the channel. And then if we do happen to break, then we've got 5.6 to the double bottom area. And then if we do break, then there's so much potential. So looking at this trade for the next few days and we'll see how that develops. One thing to help you forecast, I use the 5th option down and I'll grab a call out tool. Now the reason this is important is because you're essentially reaffirming to yourself what you're looking for. So what I'm going to write in here is the things that I'm looking for, any confluence factors behind the trade, things like that. So let's get into that now. Once I've done my annotation, what I'm basically going to do is take a screenshot just to, again, use as a cross-reference. I think this is so important. I think a lot of people don't do this, but using this as a cross-reference so that when that trade materializes, it's almost a head check to think, okay, well, have I forecasted this trade? How did I forecast it? And if I have forecasted it, take the trade, right? So that's super important. So that's one variation. What I'm going to do now again is forecast a different variation just so you see the way my mind works in terms of what I'm preparing for. So again, with this trade, looking for that as a different variation. Bottom of the structure, we got 3.6 to the low 4.7, and then if we keep on going, then this turns into a big trade that may potentially go to the bottom of the structure, so 20% move. So looking at this trade to develop. With that in mind, just gonna do another call out tool and just reaffirm to myself what I'm actually looking for. Now that I've forecasted a different variation, again going to take a screenshot, which is on the Mac, Command, Shift and 4, and then all you do is grab the tool across and screenshot it. Now, why do I screenshot the trades? Now this is very, very important. Again, like I said before, it's to use as a cross-reference. So you can see here, if I just bring these two screenshots back, I know that, okay, once Euro Aussie materializes, I've got two screenshots, I know exactly what I'm looking for, different variations in mind. And if that does materialize, then I know what I'm looking for. So it's very, very key. There we go. Just super important. And then the only thing that I do different is to put it into a folder on my desktop. So I have a folder on my desktop called Daily Forecasting. So with that in mind, I'll usually just put those in there. And as you can see, I've got different variations within here from just this morning's trades and things like that. So very, very important to do, and it just helps keep things organized and, like I said before, use as a cross-reference. So now that we've forecasted this trade on Euro Aussie with the different variations behind it, what I'm going to do is just let this play out, be patient, wait for this setup, and if it does happen to form, then I'll take the trade and we'll re-update you guys with how I took the trade and the importance of seeing the before and after from your point of view, just so it's easier to understand what I'm doing and why I actually do it. So when this develops, I will join you back here. Welcome back everyone. So you're now joining me 3 to 4 hours after the original footage. I'm now currently in Euro Aussie short. It did happen quicker than I expected, but we're currently in short. So I think the most important point that I want to mention is the point of forecasting. Like I've said, you've seen me document the entire process today. You've seen me go from purely using the brush tool on TradingView, you know, planning for these trades in advance, the different variations that come with it, and really just getting prepared for it so that when the trade materialized, I'll take it. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm on the trade now from the 15-minute chart. Didn't really feel any emotions because I've prepared for the trade. Whereas before, if we, you know, throw back to 2, 3, 4 months ago, I was feeling emotions. I was getting fear of missing out. I was hesitating at the last minute. I was getting in too early. Things like this that would crop up time and time again that I didn't really know how to overcome. But forecasting really started to solve that in many ways, and it's just been a huge process. So I really think that if you take away this value today and really start to apply this into your own trading, I really think that it will benefit you massively. Don't expect it to come overnight. It's not going to click overnight or anything like that. But if you stick with it, if you're consistent with it and you apply discipline with this, I really think that in 2, 3, 4 months time, when you come back and you look at how far you've come, I really think it's going to be huge. I really do, because obviously anything in trading doesn't happen overnight. We're sold constantly with this idea on social media that trading is this get-rich-quick scheme and so many other things. It's definitely not. It's nothing like that. But the thing is, if you stick with it, if you stick with this process, I really think it's going to provide a lot of value in the coming months. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully it provided value, and I'm just really excited for the future content. There's so much in the works, and it's going to be good to document the entire process. So if you're new to this channel and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in future videos. So stay tuned, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you all soon.